I thought I would be How many people thought that they would be the only one here? To steal a line from Glenn Beck, we are not alone. And that's the whole idea of today's meeting, is that you are not alone. And I know that that's kind of a feeling that pervades people up here in the Northeast. I'm originally from Ridgefield, so. But you are not alone. There are more of us than there are. So, yeah. In 1773, we got together. Ale in a tavern in Boston, decided to plan the Boston team. And that was just the start of it. 4 years later, there was a battle right here on this street, right? In fact, right over here, about a dozen patriots were killed by British troops. The only ground battle in Connecticut. And what were they fighting for? They were fighting for freedom, individual rights, and freedom from a tyrannical government. And I think that's what we're here for today. Here is this is just the tip of the iceberg. There are thousands and thousands of people gathering just like this over the next few months across the nation. You go on some of these Tea Party sites, you see maps of the United States, and they're stringing them all over. This is a purely grassroots movement. Chris, Skip, and I are just three guys who said, we got to do one of these Tea Party things. We've never done this kind of thing before in our lives, and we're, not exactly teenagers anymore. So, yeah, in spirit I might be today. So what we want today is, this should be, just like the Boston Tea Party, the start of something that's going to take a lot of time and a lot of effort. Because, as Thomas Paine said, if you want freedom, you're going to have to endure the fatigue of securing it. Okay? So it's going to be a long, hard struggle against this administration and the Democratic Congress, for lack of a better term. But change is going to come to this country, real change that we can believe in. Okay? Not that kind of phony crap that we got sold. Okay? And you'll notice that I'm doing this without the aid of a teleprompter. Right. And I'll give you my final 4 picks whoever you're really interested in. I don't need a teleprompter to tell me how I feel about this country. I just don't need that. So, what we want you to do, we're going to start after I'm done with this long, rambling dissertation here. So we're going to go up and down the street here, do a little marching, a little chanting, and we're going to come back here, so people are going to sing some songs, and then we're going to invite people up to tell the crowd how they feel. That's kind of a loose agenda for today. But what we want you to do after we left Ridgefield today is to take this Tea Party idea back to your hometowns. You people are going to be spreading the word across this country. And there are people from about 4 or 5 states here today. Okay? And then as we come back, I'm going to point out, is Pam Fowler here yet? She told me she was going to be a little bit late. But there's a woman, Pam Fowler, if you're interested in doing this kind of thing on your own, on a small scale, in your own town, there's a woman named Pam Fowler, we'll point her out later on, and she's the one who's organizing the entire state of Connecticut Tea Parties. So with that, you want to go down the street? Okay, now.
You can click on any state and see what's going on. We're planning in Hartford another Tea Party. We had one in February, sort of a last-minute planned thing, and we got over 200 people there, and you probably didn't hear anything about it. All right, but we now have a website, we have a coordinator. We've got Rick and Matt who are coordinating for the Hartford Tea Party. It's going to be April 15th, tax day. We're shooting for around noon. We're waiting for a state permit, so you kind of unofficially know at this point. But if you go to that website, you'll get more information. But generally, we're hoping for noon. We're at the Capitol, so if you're interested, we can use some help. And just have people show up. So if you go to taxdayteaparty.com, click on Connecticut, you'll see what's going on locally. On that day, there's also a New Haven Tax Day Tea Party. There's information there about that one, and there's other coordinators for that. So if you go there, you'll see I posted quite a bit. My name is Kay. I've got an email there. So if you want to help out with Hartford, we can really use your help or your support, or just let us know if you're going to be there. And God bless America. I love you.
Okay, well, going to try to wrap things up here, and I'm going to invite Chris Murray to say a few words, take us out of this rally. Thanks very much for coming.
Absolutely.
If you want Chris Cassoni to sing at your events or anywhere else, please get in contact with him. Here's Chris Murray.
Well, let me assure you, you don't want me singing at your event.
Before I did my closing comments, I wanted to mention that there's a mother here, a mother of the Marines serving in Iraq.
Thank you.
Her name is Cynthia Flood.
Yeah, just Google Tea Party Connecticut and I'll give you my email.
This community loves this young man and loves his family. I'm one of those guys who gets up at 2 o'clock in the morning and yells at the television. I apologize if I'm too loud. I actually do think I'm a little too loud in my neighborhood. Stay away from this guy. Okay. Thank you for coming today. This turnout renews my optimism for my country. I believe we probably had in the neighborhood of 300 to 400. We were expecting 100 to 150.
I've lost.
So that is, this is real. Let's take this and keep it going.
My friend's
Witnessing events in Washington over the last few months, I am struck by how much I disagree. The political theater in Washington has reached a level of absurdity that few of us could ever have imagined. And the Obama administration and Congress have yet to recognize how much they have harmed our country's faith in its government, much less our faith in our future. I view stopping the Obama administration's unrestrained spending and centralization of power as the challenge of our time. Previous generations had their challenges. It is our generation's turn to establish our own claim to American exceptionalism. In seeking inspiration, I came across this passage in George Washington's farewell speech. I will paraphrase. Cherish the public and credit. Avoid the accumulation of debt. Do not ungenerously throw upon posterity the burden which we ourselves ought to bear. George Washington's advice is timeless. Back then, our outgoing president was so concerned about the prospect of excessive and irresponsible spending by politicians that he cautioned about it in his farewell address. You would have thought he'd have other things to discuss. In closing, if you are as unhappy with your government as I am, then let's work together to stop it. Every Tea Party, every public stand emboldens others to speak their minds. Each political step leads to a larger one, and soon this government will have to reverse course.
Thank you.
Find your voice, don't lack conviction, you are far from alone. Lastly, think about how you are setting a proper example for your children. These are my 2 children, since they will inherit these problems and will need to find their own courage someday. Thanks for coming. I am Chris Murray.